Greetings from Africa for Data Science and Analytics, and feel most welcome to this session. This is a session that we normally conduct every time that we're having an intake. It's an opportunity for us to take you through what we are doing, through what we're offering, learn our courses. You'll have an opportunity to ask questions to experts. Some of the questions related to data science, in general, the industry in general, and also questions regarding our intakes. Should you feel like you need any clarification, this is the opportunity to get that answer. I know some of you've already visited our offices here at Nairobi. Some of you have already contacted us online. A good number of the team here have already registered for the main tech. But then this is a general session for us to talk to everyone, get an opportunity to explain these facts, and also get an opportunity to answer your questions. I'm Calvin Sotieno, and I'm part of the operations team here in Africa DSA. I'll be moderating the session today, and we have the rest of the team in this session. They'll be on mute, and they'll help us answer any questions that you have. So we have a protocol. If you feel like you have a question or a comment, you can wait until the end of the presentation, then you'll be given an opportunity to ask your question, or you can just put it on chat and the rest of the team will respond to you. So yeah, at this point, allow me to welcome Xavier Aluku, who will take us through the next session. That's the presentation on Africa DSA and our certifications and what we have for you. Then at the end of his presentation, feel free to raise your hand. I'll give you an opportunity to ask your question. Or as I said before, just put it on chat and we should be able to respond. So, Xavier, you are welcome.
Okay, thank you so much, Calvin. Good evening. Please confirm if I'm audible. Okay, can someone, Calvin, am I audible from your end?
Yes, Xavier, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So as Calvin has said, my name is Xavier Aluku, and my background has been in data science in various industries, mostly in fintech and insurtech, that's the financial sector. And I'm the one who will be taking you through this presentation. And this presentation mostly covers some, it is an information session of what data science is, what machine learning is, what AI, and so on, as well as the RPCDSA courses, because it is very crucial. I understand that, as said by my colleague, that some of you have already registered and have already been guided properly. So just allow me to start to talk first about RPCDSA. So African Center for Data Science, we are a multidisciplinary learning accelerator and a consultancy firm. And we are committed to closing the skills gap in Africa's job market. And we do this by providing transformative tech-based learning. And our area of specialty currently is in data science and artificial intelligence. And since inception in the year 2020, we have graduated over 1,500 students globally. Another thing that you need to know about us, because as a sense of technology, the world, like nowadays, you can the world has become a global village. So we have an accreditation from the International Association for Business Analytics Certification IABAC, meaning that our curriculum is aligned with global industry best practices in the field of data science and AI. And our goal is to provide high quality, globally accredited, industry aligned programs in the field of data science and artificial intelligence, both to working, that's professionals who want to upskill or to change career path, and also beginners. You might also ask yourself, why should you consider training with us and not any other edutech institute? We have global recognition. As I say that, yes, these skills also sometimes need to be justified. And the tech skills, you can work wherever you are globally. So you need also some kind of global recognition. So the Airbag certification that you receive after training with us, based on the Airbag board certification, which is based on the European Union Commission framework, that's on Edison. It is a framework that aims to align professional skills with industry requirements in the area of data science and AI. Also, you meet the expert trainers. Our faculty is composed of practicing data scientists. All our trainers are practicing data scientists who are working with us to be able to transfer these skills directly to you. Also, you get real-time experience. The trainings or the courses are practical, which are based on project-based approach training. Then also we have what's called job assistance. We have the placement team that assists our students in end-to-end job support in terms of CV and LinkedIn profile optimization, job connects and updates, job updates and direct connections or linkages. So now I want to take this opportunity to take you through this part of data science, what it entails, what is machine learning, artificial intelligence, of course, business analytics, among other sub-disciplines of data science. So when we are talking about data science, we call it data science and related discipline. Data science basically is a cross-disciplinary field, and it seeks to extract meaningful insight from data, like anything that works whereby you need to get information with regards to data, irrespective of the kind of data. And when we are not talking about data, we are not talking about numbers alone. Even your image, your photo is, if I have your photo, that is a data, kind of data, and insights can be found from there. So anything that uses, you are trying to extract meaning from data, we are talking about data science. And in data science, we have major sub-disciplines such as machine learning. Machine learning is one segment of data science, and we are saying that this one mostly is algorithms with the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. What it means, like for instance today, if I give you a calculator and you want to get the summation of 1 plus 1, which is 2, you see you can just do it straight without so much thinking on how, basically don't need to program to be able to get the output. Then another subset is what called deep learning. This is also a subset of machine learning in which artificial intelligence neural networks adapt and learn from huge data sets. So here, for instance, if you have a lot of data sets and you wanted to learn, for instance, to be able to make a specific decision, that is deep learning. Then, of course, you have artificial intelligence. These are programs with the ability to learn and reason like humans, like whatever a human being can do, an AI system can do. And that's why we are going to see later, we have aspects, the trending topics like generative AI that are now able to do some of the tasks that human beings used to do, to think. We saw last week ChatGPT launched a solution that is even able to have some kind of emotions to mimic human beings and so on. So, but before we go further, there's one of the subset of data science called data analytics, and there has been confusion on what's data science, what's data analytics, among many others. So, first of all, we have seen that data science is made up of those diverse disciplines, for which one of them is data analytics, which people get more confused about it in most cases. So I want just to take you through what it entails by looking at 3 key focus areas. One is objective and focus. Data analytics is more focused on immediate decision making. Like if I want to know how many students joined Africa CDSA in the last intake, we say 150. So you get an immediate response. But now, perhaps the number, the 150 as compared to January intake was a drop or an increase. You see, data analytics will not be able to explain that. And therefore, data science, which is more exploratory, now tries to find out, to explore more on what happened. Why is it that there is an increase or a drop? Another thing in terms of methods and approaches, data analytics mostly focuses on streamlined processes that focus on what called descriptive and diagnostic analysis. Mostly we are talking about like what's the average salary of data scientists in Kenya, what's the most common age group in Kenya, such kind of thing. That's what data analytics is focused on. But data science deals with complex and structured data and utilizes sophisticated algorithms such as neural networks and deep learning. Okay, why is it complex, the kind of data? Data science, one thing about data science, and you learn this in class for both disciplines as a common unit, is that data science has been there 25 years ago. What has only changed is the technology. There's a massive amount of data that is being produced, both structured and unstructured. And when we are talking about unstructured, we are talking about voice notes. We are talking about images that we are sending on social media. We are talking about text messages and so on. So it is complex in a way, and it needs some sophisticated tools that are able to easily analyze it. In terms of skill set and expertise, is that data analysts mostly are proficient in structured query languages to be able to query data from the database, but it depends with the organization if they allow you to access the database. They are good in data manipulation, like just to analyze and to visualize in tools like Tableau and Power BI. While data scientists are proficient with tools such as Python or R, algorithms that are good in big data frameworks such as Hadoop, data analytics tools such as SQL, Tableau, Power BI, and Microsoft Excel. But as we summarize this, is that as much as we have the differences between data science and data analytics, is that data analytics forms the foundation of data science. Like you cannot claim to be a data scientist if you don't know data analytics, because you need some of the skills in data analysis that you are going to learn that are going to be used especially in machine learning, deep learning, and so on. So a data scientist, you cannot be a data scientist without knowing data analytics skills. However, you can be a data analyst and not a data scientist. So those people who have chosen HR analytics, finance analytics, general data analytics, the concept will be the same, but for HR, you will be focusing on HR data alone, finance data, but general data analytics will cut across diverse industries. So another thing is that data science has some concepts. I'll be trying to move a bit faster, but I'll be trying to explain clearly. We have what called data types that you normally come across. We have what called structured and unstructured data. Structured data, for instance, we have a list of students who have already been registered for the May intake, name, phone number, ID number, and so that is structured data that is stored in a table. But your images that you send to us, those are unstructured data. That also is part of data. And about 90% of the recent data that is being generated in the world is unstructured. Why? Because of the fourth industrial revolution, access in terms of internet penetration and social media platforms that people are able to share information in various formats has led to massive amounts of unstructured data being produced. Another thing that you come across is data cleaning and validation in terms of accuracy, completeness, and uniformity of your data. Those are some common things that will come. Like before you do any analysis, you build any machine learning model, AI model, you need to, first of all, to ensure that your data is accurate, complete, and uniform. Other things that you come across are the issue of models and algorithms. Basically, these are just tools that perform specific things. Like, for instance, if I want to come with instead of a financial institution manually approving loans by perhaps asking customers to produce, let us say, pay slips and so on, you can just build an algorithm that is able to classify a customer based on his so-called financial data, if this is a good customer or not, without a customer coming there physically. Also, you can talk about data patterns and trends, like over the last period, how has been the numbers, the amount of rainfall received across the globe? Has it been rising or declining? You can talk about data systems and applications. These are just, you can create an application that is able, instead of nowadays, again, we have what called eKYC. KYC is know your customer. Instead of a customer visiting a financial institution physically, you can come up with an application that is able to verify a customer remotely, and all that is part of data science. Then also another concept is data mining. Those are some of the key concepts that also you need to know. Then now, let us look briefly at applications of data science. Of course, you have already known data science and some of the related disciplines. One, we have agricultural tech. One of the applications is estimating yields and capturing footages. Mostly here in deep learning and specifically in what we call computer vision, you are able to deploy a drone that has a camera and of course with a machine learning model installed that is able to estimate yields, like how many pineapples do I have in my farm, and so on. It is also able to detect even some crop diseases, and that is already happening. In law, what's called legal tech, to see if you have been keen and reading some of the judgments. In most cases, they refer to historical cases that have already happened. Like in a case of so and so, this is how it was argued, and so on. So what happens is that using the historical data, and when you you come with a new case you are trying to populate, it's able to give you to predict the outcome of how it will be, because already you have historical data of how judgments have been happening. So most cases are almost similar. In terms of customer support on call center routing and chatbots, nowadays, especially now with the generative AI that has come in, of course, we had chatbots with conventional AI also. These are now forming to be the first part of customer interaction. Like before the customer goes to a call center, like to meet now the human interaction, most of the issues you find out that already a chatbot has been able to resolve. In terms of human resource, this one is for those doing HR analytics. You can use to predict employee attrition, filter applications in hiring. Nowadays, if you have been very keen, most organizations, and especially most African countries, we have very high rate of unemployment, whereby if you find a company advertises just for one post and you get over 1,000 applications, there's no company that has capacity, even if the main business of that company is just for HR role, to be able to go and look for all the CVs of 1,000 people for one post. So nowadays, artificial intelligence, if using machine learning, is able to filter, first of all, at the first stage to ensure that those people now who proceed to the next are the ones who are qualified. So that one enhances efficiency in terms of hiring process. In terms of retail, optimization of supply and demand planning in supply chain management, you are able to predict based on historical data how the demand has been, how many umbrellas, like we know all during perhaps a rainy season, more umbrellas are going to be sold as compared to a dry season, and so on. In finance, it can be used in fraud detection. For instance, a credit card payments, you can classify them as either fraudulent or legitimate. And when you come up with such machine learning model and deploy it, the next time such kind of a transaction, especially a fraudulent transaction, is detected, it can be flagged off for manual approval. We can talk about the issue of process automation. Nowadays, you can open a bank account without going physical to the bank. By use of image recognition, you are able to scan a photo of your identity document, take a selfie, and the entire customer onboarding process is done just remotely. In healthcare, it can be used in drug discovery and image diagnosis, especially those for instance, in Kenya. Yesterday, I read one of the county governments in Kenya installed an AI model to one of the hospitals to be used in, I think it was on X-rays, and that was Kirinyaga County, that is located in Kenya, for those who are not in Kenya. And we saw sometimes back, another hospital was using it in dental. So you see that this is something that is already happening. Yeah, it's not about theory, but now the implementation in Africa is also taking shape. In terms of tech, we can talk about recommender systems, search engines, email spam filters, and matching problem. For this one, for instance, I understand that most of us we like perhaps watching videos on YouTube, movies on Netflix, and so on. So you find out that the kind of series that you like to watch, you get recommendations of almost similar. So what the algorithm is doing is able to read out your behavior, your watching pattern, and recommend you content that is relevant to you. Same happens to TikTok, which has even a very powerful recommender system, that if you like watching football videos, that is what you will be able to see, and so on. So those are some of the applications of data science in diverse industries. So why should you consider data science? Of course, it is financially rewarding, because if you are able to crunch data properly and assist organizations in decision making and make them more efficient, and if organizations becomes efficient, it means that even they are able to maximize on profit at a very low cost of production. So another one is that it has numerous application sectors, as you have seen. It employs next generation tools such as Python, among many others. It has greater career pathways you are going to see, and it is relatively young and a promising space. The future is AI, data science, everyone is talking, and the implementation has already taken course. So what are some of the skills in data science? One, mathematical skills, but this one, like for instance, for those taking the certified data scientists, we have a unit called statistics. Here, the statistics we are training using Excel. Like even if you go to our YouTube channel, you can be able to see. We are not teaching like the statistics that you are being trained and you wonder, you are being told what. Like for us, we are teaching on how. If you are talking about the average, how is the average used in the real world? And at what point are we not going to rely on average? So among many others. So we are doing it practically. Another skill in data science that you need to know is generative artificial intelligence. This is a new one, and for our students who are doing the certified artificial intelligence course, you will learn generative AI. You will be able to learn ChatGPT, Gemini. Gemini is the one for Google. It was called Bard initially. Then we have Copilot, that one of Microsoft. Also, what we learn as a data scientist programming language, Python is the most used and easy to be deployed. Then also you get the data engineering skills, data processing, data wrangling, and of course the structured query language. In machine learning, we learn supervised learning and supervised and reinforcement learning. Deep learning, TensorFlow, artificial neural networks. In big data, you are able to learn Hadoop and Spark. And data visualization, you'll be able to learn Tableau, Power BI, and Microsoft Excel. So what are some of the skills that you'll acquire? The technical skills, algorithm design, system design, and architecture and coding for those doing the certified data scientists. The coding here for data science is not like the one for software engineers. These are just very straightforward. Like if I want to summarize my data in Python, I just type summarize, put the name of my data set, and I have the output. Also industry knowledge, like we have sector trends and growth, product sense and product management. As soon as you join us, you still getting webinars organized by us, and we have others from our accreditation partner, that is IABEC, on sector trends and growth. Of course, as we have said that most of us are, not all of us are practicing data science, the trainers. We are at abreast of what is happening, the new models that are coming up. That's why even you see that we have ChatGPT-4, Gemini, Copilot as part of the curriculum for those doing the certified AI. Also business skills. As a data scientist, a data analyst, a business intelligence analyst, you must have, not even need, what's called the business skills, because you cannot solve a problem using data that you don't know. So you will have business knowledge, project management, communication, which is very crucial, and strategy, data strategy. Like as an organization, how are we going to strategize to ensure that we are going to maximize on the available data, and how are we going to ensure that this is beneficial? On analytics, you learn data organization skills, data manipulation, data modeling, and visualization. What's the way forward in this career? One, analytical, you need to, of course, know how to analyze data. You need to collaborate, like to be able to work with your colleagues, do research, connect, of course, with the community, and to innovate. So what are some of the career pathways in data science? The first one is a data analyst. A data analyst role is to manipulate data manipulation and reporting. That's the role of data analyst. Then we have this person called a machine learning engineer. A machine learning engineer is a person who creates algorithms for data science processes. Like I want to build a model that is able, if a customer visits our mobile application, perhaps let me say a mobile lending, I'm able to collect the data from the customer from onboarding, collect the data, and even score and to predict if this customer is able to get a loan or not. Then we have what's called an AI engineer. AI is artificial intelligence engineer. The role of this person is to design, develop, and deploy artificial intelligence solutions such as chatbots that I have talked about in collaboration with other engineers. And the engineers we are talking about, we have the machine learning engineers, data engineers, and of course the software engineers. Then we have what's called the business intelligence analysts. So for the typo, there's a difference between a business analyst and a business intelligence analyst. So a business intelligence analyst role is to make business decisions based on past data. Like for instance, it's trying to answer on what happened in most cases. Then of course we have the master, the data scientist. So it depends with organizations. Organizations that do not have huge budgets will just employ you as a data scientist, and you do all these roles that you see here: AI engineer, ML engineer, data analyst. So the data scientist does all these roles and analyzes complex large volumes of data and support business decisions. So what are the initiative plans that you need to do as a person to be able to succeed in these careers? One is to invest. You must be ready to invest your time, money, and effort to train your mind. Also, you must be ready to intern and explore. We say that do the that work to gain experience. For us, what you are doing as an organization after you finish, still we have the issue of the continuous CPD. You are required to be attending some events. We have the internships. We have a partnership with Omdena that we have a lot of projects that they do, that you are able to get experience, That's why we are saying do the dirt work to gain experience. Also, you need to focus, like you identify an industry and check space for yourself. If you like to be in finance and I want to be an expert data scientist in finance or data analyst or finance analytics, if I want to be an expert in HR analytics and I focus there, you need to focus. Then impact, of course, you influence the practice because already you are the custodian of this knowledge and skills. So now you might be interested to know our graduate portfolio. So we have both graduates who are working in diverse, but also we have corporate partners. So we have, as you see here, we have financial institutions, mobile network operators such as Safaricom, MTN Rwanda. We have consultant firms such as KPMG, insurance companies such as MUA, government organizations such as Office of the Auditor General. Then we have corporate clients. Corporate clients are companies that we have partnership to train their employees. We have Akili Kids. This one mostly deals with cartoons for children. We have the Rwanda Revenue Authority, Uganda Revenue Authority, NCBA Bank, Sanlam, and University of Rwanda. So now, let us now focus on the May intake timetable. So our classes run from Monday for May intake to Monday to Thursday. And we have batches that you can just select one. We have the 9:30 a.m. to 11 to 9:30 a.m. To about 2 p.m. physical, which is full time. This one is for certified data scientists and certified data analysts. Then we have the, that is Monday, Thursday. Then we have the 5:30 class. The 5:30 class, I think there is a typo somewhere, if I'm not wrong. There's the 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. That is from Monday to Thursday. That is part-time. Then we have the 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., which is virtual. The 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., that is virtual, which is part-time, also a weekday, Monday to Thursday. All our classes run from Monday to Thursday for May intake. And we have the three options, the 9:30 to 2 p.m., 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. East African time, then the 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. So in terms of certifications, the certified data scientists and certified data analysts are the only ones that run from 9:30 to 2 p.m. option. Then the 5:30 to 7:30 also certified data scientists and certified data analysts. But now when we go to 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., we have certified data scientists again, certified artificial intelligence experts. So for those who chose that, only we have the 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. East African time. The certified business analytics expert as well, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. The certified data analyst, this one is both 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. batch. We have the 9:30 to 2 p.m. Then we have the 5:30 to 7 p.m. batch. Then for those who chose the certified human resource analytics professional, we only have the 8 p.m. cohort. Then the certified finance analytics professional, we have only the 8 p.m. batch. In terms of course duration, the certified data scientist part-time takes 9 months. So for these ones, you learn for 2 hours a day, in a week 8 hours. And for full-time, you learn for 16 hours a week. For certified artificial intelligence expert, 7 months. Currently, we have the part-time alone. It is 7 months. You learn for 2 hours, that is 8 hours a week. The certified data analysts have both part-time and full-time, 7 months, part-time, full-time, 6 months. Certified human resource analytics professional, part-time, 5 months, full-time 3 months. Certified Finance Analytics Professional 5 months. Part-time, full-time 5 months. The Certified Business Analytics Experts part-time 3 months, full-time 6 months. And the Statistical Data Analysis package for those doing SPSS and SATA. SPSS and SATA mostly they are classical, what's called traditional data science tools. Mostly still they are used in research. Mostly when we are talking about academia, and some NGOs are still using in analyzing survey data. So you are full-time, part-time 1 month, full-time 3 weeks. In terms of fees structure, the Certified Data Scientist physical training, and the physical training is in Nairobi, Kenya alone. The fees is 800 USD, inclusive of year-back exam fee, and the virtual training is $682 US. For this one, you are allowed to pay fees up to a maximum of 5 installments. For Certified Artificial Intelligence, for this intake, we only have the virtual training. The fees are $750. You are allowed to pay up to 5 installments. Then the Certified Business Analytics Expert, for May, we have only virtual training. You are allowed to pay the fees up to a maximum of 3 installments. Certified Data Analyst, for this intake, we have both the physical and the virtual. You are allowed to pay the fees up to 3 installments. Certified HR Analytics Professional, we have only virtual for this intake. You are allowed to pay fees up to 3 installments. Finance Analytics, as well, we have only a virtual, allowed to pay school fees in 3 installments. Then statistical packages, that's SPSS and SATA combined, you are allowed to pay fees just one-off. And for this intake, we only have the virtual. So what's the admission process? I understand that some of you have already been admitted, majority. First, you pay first installment of all the entire fee. If you are able, then your registration and issuance of admission number, there's a link that we share with you from Airbag that you register, and you will be issued admission number. And of course, after that admission letter, then start of classes. So admissions for May 2024 intakes are ongoing till 9th May. Sorry, this should be 9th June. It is a typo. And classes will start on 11th June. So it is a typo. Sorry for that. It is 9th June. Classes start on 11th June. So if you want to contact us, email info@africdsa.com. This is our phone number. I understand most of you. Then our physical location is in Kenya, Pioneer House, Room 308, Moi Avenue, Nairobi, Kenya. You can as well, if you want to research more about us, you can go to Facebook, what we have been posting, Twitter or X, LinkedIn, YouTube channel we have. Also the Google My Business account. If you just search African Center, you get there, plus even the reviews from former students. So that's the end of my presentation. I want to take it back to Calvin now to pick the question and answer session.
Okay, thank you very much, Sylvia, for that wonderful presentation. At this point, we are going to welcome questions. So if you feel like you have a question, you'd like to ask, or there's a comment you'd like to put across, we are going to take the next 10 minutes, the next 18 minutes to handle that. Then we'll call it a day. So anybody, you can just put it on chat or you raise your hand. We'll start with Paul, then Alison. So Paul, you can ask a question, Paul Amaya. And yes, Nadra will share the slide immediately after this session. Paul, you can ask your question if you are raising your hand to ask. If not, Alison.
Yeah, thanks. Good evening. Just a a question. I'm aware we're currently discussing the May intake. And I just needed to know, in case one wants to actually defer or there's others who may be interested, do you usually do a monthly intake, or what is the period in between each intake?
Okay, thanks. I'll take that. So we normally have our intake every 2 months. The first one was January, then we had March. We are now doing May, then after May we'll have July, September. Then the last intake for the year will be November. So every 2 months we are having an intake. Thanks for that. Yes, Xavier?
Okay, so to clarify or to add on that, what Calvis has said, for physical classes we only have day intakes. After the May one, the next one will be September. But for virtual, we have after every 2 months, as my colleague has said.
Okay, thanks for that. Marlene Serede, you can ask your question. We can't hear you, or I can't hear you. May perhaps you come from your mic. No. You need to, Marlene, your audio is poor. Perhaps you can log out and log in again so that you correct your mic, because we can't hear you.
Even now you can't hear me?
We cannot hear you. Yeah, please ask.
Okay. So my question was concerning the time for the virtual classes. From the registration, I think we had so many times, it was even difficult to choose. And from the presentation, I can see for the virtual one, we have 8 to 10. So which one is the one that is being used?
Okay. Okay, Sylvia, you want to take that?
Okay, thank you so much. So we have students who choose the 9:30 to as well 2 p.m. but still joining virtually. But that one specifically, if you have selected either certified data analyst or certified data scientist, then also we have the 5:30 to 7:30. See, you can join virtually for certified data scientist or certified data analyst. Then the 8 p.m. classes, all of them, irrespective of the course, are purely virtual. And our classes are recorded as we train. Like the way I'm doing this session, we are recording it. So I don't know if that is helpful.
Okay, that is still helpful. And then the other question was concerning the course of data scientist. So I had seen the brochure and I wanted to inquire, like I saw something like you have Python, when we have Python unit. Can you tailor make for someone who instead of Python requires another analysis software?
Okay, thank you. So just to explain, in the certified data scientist course, first of all, the first unit, you will be given a general knowledge of what data science is, what are the emerging issues, the issues of data privacy, and so on. After that, you'll move to a unit called statistics, whereby you'll be trained using Microsoft Excel. After that, we'll move to data visualization unit, whereby you'll be trained using Power BI and Tableau. Those are two separate data visualization tools. After that, you'll be trained on data engineering, most using structured query language, SQL. Then after that, now you start on machine learning, introduction to Python, data visualization, deep learning. That one will now be used using Python. So those are the tools currently. Initially, we used to have R, but IABEC, which is our accreditation partner, remember this curriculum is approved by them. We go a thorough revision after every 1 year. If there are emerging issues, they add or remove and so on. So those are the tools currently that we have. So
Oh,
I don't know if that is clear.
yeah, it's clear. I was actually thinking of R instead of Python, but still it's okay. And then, okay, you've talked about machine learning. I was also to ask about that. So machine learning is not a course on its own. It's part of data science course.
Yeah, it is part of data science. And machine learning basically is just a subset of artificial intelligence. So you will just know that in data science, when you move from machine learning, which is a subset of
Yes.
AI, then you go to what's called deep learning. When you move from deep learning, you go now to what's called generative artificial intelligence and so on. It is part of data science.
Okay. Thank you for answering the questions. I'm done.
Okay, thank you. Mutisa, there was Mutisa. Fred Mutisa. Seeing your hand is now down. We can move on to the next. Nandala Irisa, you can ask your question.
Okay, thank you so much. I notice, based on what you've given us as the introduction, it appears that data science literally covers all. Is that the case? Because I understand there is strata, there is what, but at least data science literally is it's literally the whole thing in the whole game, because most of the things you're tapping on are ideally patched up in the other sort of courses. Is that the case?
Yeah, that's the case. So what is happening here, like, let me clarify. For those doing, for instance, data analyst is a subset of data science. And you will find out that those who are doing the certified data scientists will have to cover it first before they move. Then the data analysts will just end at the data analyst content. Those who are doing the HR analytics, you will do just data analytics, but on HR side. Those who are doing the finance, it's just data analytics on finance alone. But now here, those who are going to do the artificial intelligence course, for artificial intelligence, we need a prerequisite. First of all, you must have a prerequisite knowledge in statistics and Python for you to do. But to answer your question, that is the case. All those other sub-disciplines are just subset of data science.
Okay, thank you so much.
And another thing I forgot during my presentation as we are waiting for more questions, remember at the end of the course, there will be exams. I don't know, let me clarify. For those doing the certified data scientists, the year-back exams are done. It is an open book, it's done for 7 days. We are allowed to guide you. The ones doing the certified artificial intelligence, open book, again, 7 days. For those doing the finance, data analytics, HR analytics, the exam is a multiple choice. It's 2 hours. Yeah, I think that is what I had forgotten. So in terms of certificates, Earback will issue because it is a professional body, it is a professional certification. They are the ones who will issue with the certificates. For us, we will issue transcripts that shows the specific units that you have done. So I hope that is clear. I had forgotten, so for that, we can proceed with the questions.
Yeah, so we can have Nikki Chemos, then Stephen Odhiambo, then we'll come back to you, Alison. So Nikki Chemos.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank the panel for organizing this meeting. It's been a comprehensive one, and I had questions prior to this meeting, but most of them I can see they have been answered, mostly concerning the application, if you can apply what we studied, let's say from our background, and also if we can have mentors who can, let's say, hold us in that period where we can be free to, let's say, be guided, not only during the study period, but also after it's done. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for that. So, yeah, throughout your course, you'll have mentors who will be able to guide you. We have experts, as Sylvia presented, people who are also practicing and delivering the training. So you'll be guided through that. And even after you have finished your course and graduated, we are also available to support you. We have lots of post-graduation programs that we normally offer, including a virtual internship program. So that one is taken care of. And thanks for the compliment on the session. Next, we have Stephen. Stephen, you can ask.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you for your time. Thank you for taking us through the session. However, I just have maybe two areas of concern. One is in regards to certified business analytics. I don't know from your point of view, if somebody has to take this course, of course, you've said part-time is 3 months and then full-time is 6 months. Preferably, I take the part-time of 3 months. Is it required that somebody has to have a background of maybe something like business statistics for him or her to take this kind of course? So should somebody have knowledge on business statistics? Secondly, on the issue of time, you stated that the program starts from 5:30, probably to around 7:30, if I'm not wrong. Could it be possible if in somebody's, because of maybe the position you are in, you are able to maybe take it from possibly 4:30 to maybe 6:30, something that time if possible, even though I preferably might not have to take the full time. I will prefer the 3 months, that is the virtual one. I think then finally on the issue of the exposure, that is maybe now when it comes to opportunity connections, you've mentioned a number of corporates and also government entities. Maybe you could further explain for us, how do you make this possible so that people who have this kind of process with you are able to get opportunity? Maybe briefly you can explain how you make this actually possible. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for those questions. Those are the first one was on the knowledge of business statistics. I think the same has also been asked on chat by Rosbel. And I'd like to let you know that anyone can study any course because part of our curriculum includes statistics. As Eva was explaining, we normally have introduction. Then there's a section on statistics where you are introduced to all those concepts. So if you're new to business statistics or you've not done any statistics program, you don't have to fear, we'll offer that. Then the next question was on time. You're asking if you can do 4:30 to 6:30. Unfortunately, we have standard time that works for all, but we normally have our sessions being recorded. So perhaps if you're not able to attend a particular session, we'll always avail a recording, and the tutor will always be there to support you if in case there are any areas that you feel you need more clarification on. Then the last question, I'd like to invite Sylvia to take that.
Okay, thank you so much. Perhaps before I take that, just to clarify quickly, on the business and analytics, I did not explain further. Business analytics mostly involves optimization problems. And for instance, today, you have a very difficult decision to make. You don't have a lot of resources and you have to perhaps to achieve a goal. So is some kind of decision theory and simulation approach. Yes, it entails data, but mostly you find out that it involves some kind of simulations. Like suppose if the organization is not going to meet their target for this financial year, what is going to happen? Which department is going to be affected? That is what business analytics. But you don't need prerequisite. We only have one course, as I mentioned, that you need prerequisite before we admit you. That is certified artificial intelligence expert. And the prerequisite we need is statistics, Python for data science knowledge, and machine learning. Then in terms of how we make this possible, so in most cases, what we do for our students during the training, we have projects that students do along the way. So in terms of Job Connects, we have organizations coming to us directly asking for candidates. So what we normally do in that situation, if an organization comes, of course, we normally ask our students who are available for opportunities. Not everyone is always available. Others are, we find out that they are committed in other jobs. So we send a list for them to do the interview, then they select. Another one that we are doing as an organization, in our website, we recently launched the Hire Our Graduates, which is a page that we are boosting. Our graduates are able to be picked from there. Another one, we have partnership with open source AI organizations such as Omdena. They do a lot of projects that our students who are interested to be able to join and do. So for us as an organization, we have been exposing our students to these partner opportunities, as well as in terms of content delivery and what is required, we have been doing at our best. What only we normally require our students and our graduates is to support us by, for instance, if given an opportunity, you are really into it, so that also our partners don't see that we submit students that are not willing to take the task seriously. So that is basically in briefly how we have been doing. It is something that we have been doing continuously. Our students have been excelling, of course, but also it requires a commitment from your end, like those internships. Yes, perhaps sometimes you are required to do them in the evening after work because you are busy. You are given perhaps to collaborate to build this model. This is your section. So it needs also some kind of commitment just to be fair. I think those are the questions that have been asked, Calvis. I don't.
Yeah, maybe just to add on to what you've talked about on the opportunities, we have also partnered with Ajira, which is a program by the Kenyan government to offer digital skills to the youth. They normally train our students on how to do online jobs, how to create those online accounts, how to bid for work online, and how to do competitive proposals. So those are part of what some of the trainings that we also do throughout your session with us. We also offer LinkedIn trainings, how to do your LinkedIn to ensure that there is visibility over what you've learned from Africa DSA. The same doubles with how then do you now prepare your CV to ensure that you properly capture skills. So yeah, that was just in addition to what Sylvia has responded to. I'm seeing we have two more questions, so we can do Peter Musyoka. Then Alison.
Yes, thank you, Sylvia, for that presentation. I have a very brief question. In a case that maybe now you've done a course, let's say in data analysis, then maybe after you've done the course, you also want to do data scientist. Do you have some exemptions on the course, or you also have to do the same period that maybe the other team does not have the same background? Or are there some exemption maybe to, if you do the first course, maybe the second course, you can do it maybe within a short period of time?
Okay, so for instance, if you have done the certified data analyst, it means that you have done almost 40% of data science. You can be exempted on the units that you have done. It's possible. I hope that is clear, Peter.
So that's clear. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other question?
Yeah, sorry. Thanks. Sorry, I know that we're on time. I just have the last question, actually, probably a 2-in-1. I'm assuming that this course caters to all, even those without prior coding experience. If you could just comment on that, one. And then two, just reaffirm that IABEC, is the one which is actually certifying this course. So in as much as we'll be instructed through the actual certification, if you can just speak to that, because I'd just like to understand, just circle back to industry recognition and acceptability. Yeah, thanks. Those are my last ones.
Okay, I don't know, Candice, are you picking this or I should respond?
Please proceed.
Okay, thank you. So on the certification, yes, it is IABAC. That one you can check on the IABAC. Let me try to retrieve the IABAC link. You can confirm later. As well, if you go to our LinkedIn profile, you see when we celebrate our graduates, IABAC as well comments there. It is them. For us, we only issue transcripts. The rest, the professional certification and the CPD, of course, both us and IABAC, that one is well catered for. So in terms of prerequisite, as I said, anyone can take this apart from just one. That's the certified artificial intelligence expert that you need prerequisite. The rest, it is designed for anyone because we take from beginner to advanced. So I hope that is fine. Perhaps, Calvis, you can respond to the rest of the question as I'm sharing the link to the IABAC website that shows actually CDS as ATP.
Okay. So another question, I'm seeing Adisu Tekle, you've asked, is there any way to pay for the course for someone who is living in Ethiopia? Yes, we normally have international payments. We partnered with PayPal, we partnered with Flutterwave, and that's enabled us possible. As Sylvia has presented, we have students across the continent. We have students as far as Jamaica who we wouldn't have been able to pay us, so that's possible. I'm just trying to rush through. Any other question before we call it a wrap? Any other? You can just raise it. Oh, Mustafa, you can ask your question. You're welcome, Adisu. Mustafa, if you have your question, you can ask. If not, then I think we are going to end it there. Should you have any question, anybody question? If you're in Kenya, you can come to offices. As CVC did the presentation. We are at Pioneer House, that's Moi Avenue, 3rd floor, room 308, just next to railways. If you want to engage us online, you can either call us on our phone number. we'll share it. I know most of you already have it. You can also engage us on social media or on all other platforms. You can do emails, we'll be able to respond. You can also follow us on all our social media pages. We're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok. You can also just engage us through the website. We'll be able to respond to you. Otherwise, we want to say thank you for joining this session. We believe it was impactful and most of the questions that you had have been answered. We are looking forward to having you for our main intake. As was presented, the intake will run up to 9th of June. Then our classes will begin on the 11th of June. And we have several categories as presented. After this session, we're going to share the recording. We'll also share the presentation so that you can go through once again. And as I said before, in case of any question, just reach out. We'll be able to respond. Have a good evening. Bye.